What's up, boys? We're back talking some more NBA player props today over on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is my favorite website for some NBA player props and just pretty much all things player props. Website and app, go download it. Link is in my description, but use code DOMG. When you guys do go ahead and sign up, a bunch of you guys have been using my code. I seriously do appreciate it when you guys use my code because it helps me out and it helps you guys out as well because you guys get a 100% deposit match up to $100 for your first deposit on PrizePicks. Highly recommend joining us. People in most states and in Canada. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about these though. Yesterday on the video was not great at all, man. Promise we will be better. I think I got a very good list today. I'm pretty confident. I'm always confident, but I think today I kind of set a higher bar. So especially after yesterday, which was kind of a shit show. But Patreon yesterday need to be better. It was 3-3 yesterday on the Patreon. Yeah, it was 3-3. Favorite hit. Second favorite did not hit, unfortunately, though. Dude, I felt like Embiid was great. His game log versus Jared Allen was insane. Jared Allen, like, pretty much outplayed him. He didn't outplay him, but, like, he did good compared to how he usually does against Embiid, it was just flip-flopped. Yesterday was crazy. CJ McCollum, man, burnt a lot of people. Wasn't necessarily, he hit those assists early, man. I'll stop ranting here in a second, but, like, he had all those assists early, and then the blowout just screwed him, too. He should have got some fourth quarter minutes, but he got screwed out of those because of the blowout. It was a super bad blowout. But I got 3 player props for you guys in today's video, so let's go ahead and hop into this. But make sure you guys like the video and subscribe. It seriously does help me out. But let's go ahead and hop into this here. So let's do that right now. Okay, so let's take a look at, I got 1 assist prop, 1 rebound prop, and a 3-point make prop, and I'm pretty confident in all of these. I'm kind of liking the list today. But there is one where I really need to talk about it because I'm still... I don't know. We'll hop into it here. So let's talk about the first one here. It's going to be Domantas Sabonis over 5.5 assists. I'm really loving this one today against Dallas. So averaging 6.4 in his last 5 games here. Always tail everything at your own risk, by the way. Tail everything at your own risk. Yeah, don't go off of dresses is what I say. Do your own research. Look into these even more than I do when talking about these videos. And always, if you do play something, it's at your own risk. But Domantas Sabonis over 5.5 assists is what I'm currently liking right now. So averaging 6.4 in his last 5. You take a look at his game log right there. It looks pretty solid. So he's a minus 125 to hit this over. 46% hit rate this season. 6 out of 10 in his last 10 games. He had 7 in the first matchup versus Dallas and 8 in the second matchup versus Dallas. So, and his most recent was on January 29th, which was Dallas. That was when he had 8, was January 29th. And I also took a look at the potential assists. So he had 14 potential assists last game. And the last matchup versus Dallas, he had 16. So he had 8 versus Dallas, and he had 16. So he's getting about half of the assists for potential. So like in this game, he had 6 assists, and he had 14 potential assists in that game. So he's getting a lot of potential assists, and we're kind of looking for him to obviously grab those assists. But he had 16 in the last game versus Dallas, where he had 8. So pretty good looks. He's getting a lot of opportunities to get some of these assists. So let's take more look into this one now. So the Sacramento Kings game here. So he's been also killing us with Sacramento. I think he's only missed once or twice with Sacramento this season. Don't quote me on that. But center versus Dallas here. Let's take a look. 7.5 point spread. So there is a tiny bit of blowout potential here. 224.5 over under here. But I'm liking Sabonis assists a little bit. So let's take a look at the center position here. This is called FanDuel NBA Defense versus Position on Fantasy Pros. This is what the website's called. This website is called Rotowire NBA Starting Lineups. Let's take a look here. So center assist versus the Dallas Mavericks. And Dallas here is on kind of the kind of in the middle. Kind of in the middle, I'd say. Yeah, probably about right in the middle. Around that 15th, 16th, 17th range, probably. Assists allowed to the center. So kind of a middle-of-the-road matchup, I'd probably say. The last 7 games here, Dallas, though, is definitely on the easier side, allowing the 5th most assists to the center position in the last 7 games. So they've been allowing a lot of assists to the center lately. And he's been able to get it done twice already this season with a lot of potential assists versus this Dallas Mavericks team. So I'm definitely liking this a little bit for Domantas Sabonis to go ahead and hit the over. Plus, this game might be a little bit of a lower spread if Luka does not play, but I'm assuming Luka will probably play. So I'm not really going to lean too hard on Luka not playing. But all right, let's take a look at some more props here. Let's take a look at a rebound prop here. And this is the one where I try as much as I possibly can to stay away from blowouts, but this one I keep coming back to. It's Steven Adams over 10.5 rebounds against his Orlando Magic's team. This game has a pretty big spread. If you guys play this prop, be aware of the blowout potential. It's going to be tough, but it is going to be a faster paced game, it looks like, with the 230 over under, but 16-point spread. Be aware of this, but I'll talk about why I still like this, even with the blowout potential. But I'm still kind of on the fence a little bit about this because I hate blowouts so much. It screwed a lot of people over last night, but it's definitely one that I'm really still looking into. But center here versus the Orlando Magic. Let's take a look at this game here. But if you take more of a look into this one, he's a minus 133 to still hit this over. He's hitting 45% of his games this season, 7 out of 10 in his last 10 games, and he had 11 in the last matchup versus Orlando, which was only 23 minutes. He played 23 minutes and was able to grab 11 rebounds. And they also won by 10 plus. I believe that was a blowout game. So he's also hitting 67% of his games, though, where Memphis wins by 10 plus. So those aren't all necessarily blowouts, but games where they win by 10 plus points, he's hitting 67% of those games. So he's been able to get it done in blowout potential games before, and he's got a very good matchup today, so we'll take a look at this. But that's kind of why I am still liking Steven Adams, if that kind of makes sense. So center here versus Orlando Magic. Let's take a look at this one here. So season-long center rebounds versus Orlando, and Orlando here is allowing the 5th most rebounds per game to the center position so far this season. Take a look at the last 7 games here, and Orlando is still on the easier side for sure, allowing the 7th most rebounds per game to the center position. They're also allowing a lot of points, but I'm liking Steven Adams quite a bit. And also, I mean, look at Wendell Carter Jr. is out. So that's another part of the reason why the spread is so big. But Wendell Carter Jr. is out, so they don't really have another guy. I mean, Okiki, I'm not sure how good he is at guarding the rim, but or grabbing rebounds, but I'm liking Steven Adams a little bit here against the Orlando Magic's team. All right, let's take a look now at a 3-point makes prop. I think this one's a pretty popular one today, and I'm on it, man. Klay Thompson over 2.5 3-point makes. I'm definitely liking this one a lot, especially considering what he did against the Lakers last time. I think a lot of people are going to be on this one, kind of like CJ McCollum yesterday, so we'll see if he kind of screwed us over like McCollum did. Cross our fingers, though. Probably shouldn't have spoke that into existence. But against the Laker team, he just played them. I not really just played them, but February 12th he played them. He dropped 5 on their head. So averaging 3 in the last 5 games here, 3 out of 5 hit rate in his last 5. So let's take a look more into this one. So he's a minus 130 to go ahead and hit over on this prop. 61% hit rate this season, 6 out of 10 in his last 10 games, and he had 5 in the last matchup, like I said, versus the Lakers, which was on February 12th. All right, let's take a look more into this one here. So Golden State Warriors here, small forward, going against the Los Angeles Lakers. So they're projecting Jordan Poole to start at shooting guard. We'll take a look also at shooting guard versus the Lakers, though, 3-point makes, because it really just depends on where Klay Thompson starts tonight, because he could be playing shooting guard, he could be playing small forward, but we'll take a look at small forward first, because that's where your Rotowire has him projected to start. So let's take a look at this here. So small forward, 3-point makes versus the Lakers here. And the Lakers to small forwards are actually kind of on the harder side for 3-point makes. So a little bit on the tougher side, but it's not super, super tough. It's not like a top 5 worst matchup, but they have been kind of consistent on allowing not many 3-point makes, but they're kind of right there. So kind of a little bit, I'd probably say 18th probably. 3-point makes, ranked defense, somewhere around there. I'm not going to count it right now, but let's take a look at shooting guard here. 3-point makes, and if he was to start shooting guard, it'd be an even better matchup here for Klay Thompson here, allowing, a ton of 3-point makes to the shooting guard position. Last 7 games here, the Lakers are still definitely on the easier side. So if he was a starting shooting guard, compared to how they've been against other shooting guards, it would be a pretty good matchup, especially compared to the small forward. But also, not every small forward is Klay Thompson. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite player props of the day are. Always tailor everything at your own risk. Do your own research, but that's what I got for you guys today. So to kind of recap here, we got Domantas Sabonis over 5.5 assists, Steven Adams over 10.5 rebounds, and Klay Thompson over 2.5 3-point makes. So that's what I got for you guys today. Tailor everything at your own risk, play responsibly, and I will see you guys in the next one. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.